Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming the 2024 mid-year freakout book tag. I think those are the words in order. So let's get started. Question 1. What has been your favorite book this year? And my answer is Song of the Six Realms. This is a young adult fantasy romance standalone. Okay, so basically this book is about Shui, a Chin musician who is apprenticed at the House of Flowing Water, an entertainment house. She's indentured there, and her only family is her uncle, but he's killed, so she's gonna be forced to spend the rest of her life indentured at the entertainment house. But then she gets called to play for Duke Meng, who is nice for a noble and is like, hey, if you agreed to be my musician at my house for 1 year, I'll pay for your indenture. I'll release you and pay for your indenture so you'll be free the rest of your life. And she's like, this sounds good, too good to be true. And it is too good because they get attacked by a monster. And then when she gets to the estate, she learns that he's one of the members of the Celestial Realm. He's a Duke of Dreams, and there's demons that are attacking across the realms, and she has memories hidden that have to be unlocked to find the key to fight the monsters, but she's immortal in the non-mortal realms, and so she's being attacked by everyone. It's a really lovely book. I love the writing. I love the sweet romance. I love all the characters. Well, all the characters that you're supposed to love. Question 2. Best sequel so far. Okay, I have 2 answers. I don't know if this counts as a sequel, but The Sun and the Star, Nico and Will's story. I mean, technically, it's like a sequel of The Trials of Apollo, which is like a sequel of The Heroes of Olympus, The Blood of Olympus, which is like a sequel of the first series. I had a really good time reading this. It had like 2 questionable moments, but other than that, I enjoyed it. My second choice would be the Ballad of Never After. I don't know which book, if the first book or the second is my favorite in the series. I really enjoyed this book, figuring out what the whole plan is, what the motivations are, what's going on, and then the ending was like really good. And number 3, newly released books that you haven't read yet but want to. Okay, I have 3 books. First, we'll start with a non-fiction. It's a book called Silk. I saw the cover when browsing Libby, and I immediately went, oh, because if there's one thing you need to know about me, it's that I love moths and butterflies. So this is a book about the impact silk has had on humanity and its scientific possibilities, uses. I love a history book that's like the history of a scientific topic, so I'm excited to read that. Second is, what's the book called? Bad Graces. I read the synopsis. This started out Yellow Jackets meets House of Hollow, and you had me at Yellow Jacket. This cover also has moths on it. And now this summary. Liv Whitlock knows she doesn't belong here. But after years of stumbling between foster homes, often due to her own self-destructive tendencies, Liv desperately needs to change the trajectory of her life, so she steals her perfect sister's identity. Liv starts to rewrite her story, winning a prestigious internship on a movie set filming in Alaska, and finds herself on a luxury yacht alongside pop star Paris Grace, actress sisters Effie and Miri Knight, Olympic gymnast Rosalind Torres, and social media influencer Celia Jones. Liv tries to find common ground with her famous companions, but just as the group starts to bond, a violent storm wrecks their vessel, stranding them on an island in the North Pacific Ocean. Among the threats of starvation and exposure, they learn there is a predator lurking in the forest. There's a man in the woods. Okay, not a man or a bear. A secret third thing. Unlike anything they've seen before, until they begin to see it in themselves. Every injury they suffer on the island causes inexplicable changes in their bodies. With little hope for rescue and only each other as their final tether to humanity, can the girls endure the ominous forces at work on the island, or will they lose themselves to their darker natures? Okay, so obviously you have the Yellow Jackets with girls get stranded on an island. I think House of Hollow with like body horror of like their injuries are transforming them. That didn't really happen in House of Hollow, but you still had the body horror creepiness. And finally we have Map of the Otherlands. I don't know how I haven't read this book. As you can see, I've loved this book, the first book. I guess I'm just scared of how good the sequel will be. When it came out, it was like several months wait at the library, so I haven't read it yet. Okay. Question 4. Books that are releases for the second half of the year. Okay, I have 3. Celestial Monsters. This is the second book in the duology, The Sunbearer Child. This comes out in September, I think. I really liked this book. Read it and then I was like, oh my god, I want to read the next one. And then I have to wait till September. Okay, the next book is Girl with No Reflection. The little blurb mentioned gothic romance, fantasy, Chinese mythology, and a mirror world. That sounds really interesting. Finally, that one comes out in August. And then finally we have A Banh Mi for Two. This also comes out in August. This is a sapphic story about foodies. I don't know, I feel like I don't read a lot of like romance books that aren't part of another genre, usually fantasy. I don't know if this is gonna be my type of book, but it sounded really interesting. It seems kind of wholesome, but I don't know, there's a dead parent and parents who left a country and don't talk about that, so could have some darker moment, sad moment. So basically it's about Lan and Vivi, and Lan lives in Vietnam and her mom run a banh mi stall, and she writes this blog called A Banh Mi for Two, but she hasn't been able to write since her father passed away. Vivi is Vietnamese American and her parents don't talk about why they left or anything, so she decides to secretly go and study abroad, which is wild to me. Someone has secretly, meaning she didn't tell her parents, but someone knows, right? Because she wants to like find out her family history, and also like she loves the blog A Banh Mi for Two. The two girls meet and they make a deal, like Vivi will help Lan with writing the blog and Lan will help Vivi piece together her family history, and I guess they fall in love. Okay, number 5. Biggest disappointment of the year. I don't know, disappointment is the right word, more like confusion. We have A Curse for True Love, the final book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. What happened to the plot of the story? Like, yeah, they get a happy ending, but what was this book? Also, if you have an antagonist, and I mean a real villain, no redemption arc, no likable qualities, 1 POV chapter max, if that. Do not give him multiple chapters. We could have had Jax have more POV chapters, or we could have just not had any of that. 6. Biggest surprise. This Poison Heart. Okay, so I knew that the girl had plant powers, and then when I watched booktubers talk about it, they mentioned Greek mythology, and I was like, oh, is this another Hades and Persephone retelling? Because there's so many books with Hades and Persephone, and when there are so many other Greek mythology stories to be told, then I learned it was sapphic. It was interesting. Read the sample, and then I read the book. I did not know where the book was going. I really enjoyed it. I have to read the second book still. 7. Favorite author of the year. New author, new to you. Judy I, Song of the Six Realms. I'm definitely going to read the T fantasy duology. Okay, 8, crush. I don't think I have a crush on any of the characters this year. Okay, 9, new favorite character. I'm gonna say Judy I from Song of Six Realms. Is it weird to have your favorite character be someone you relate to? I mean, in like an eco sense. But I just really like the talked about her being quiet and her liking being alone. I'll read some quotes. He had misread again my quiet for discomfort. Relatable. And there was nothing I liked more than to be unobtrusive, part of the bustle of the house and yet separate from it. There but not there, included and yet apart. I really felt this. I hate being the center of the attention, which I know sounds strange. Like, girl, you're filming a YouTube video. But this is like controlled. I can control it. Book that made you cry. I'm gonna say The Sun and the Star for one specific moment. There's this one quote from Hades that says, "You finally have me in a place where I can grant you whatever you desire, and your wish is to help someone else. You continue to make me proud." Nico has such a good heart, and I think he's one of my favorite characters in the Percy Jackson universe. 11. Book that made you happy. I have 2 answers, a book and a graphic novel. First, we have Howl's Moving Castle. I've seen the movie before, I haven't read the book. Howl is so dramatic. I love him. This book is really nice to read when you need something more lighthearted. Say you've just read an emotionally devastating book. Definitely going to be one I can reread. And the graphic novel is called The Sprite and the Gardener. It's this really wholesome graphic novel about these sprites that help this gardener grow their garden. And there's just this beautiful artwork. And I want all of the sprites' outfits. They were so cute. The designs. They had so many different designs between the characters, and all the flower and plant artwork was really pretty. And again, it's another lighthearted book when you need that. 12. Prettiest, most beautiful book you've received. Entangled Life, the illustrated edition. I haven't read it yet. I really enjoy when scientific books have pictures, because then I don't have to spend all the time Googling it, which kind of takes you out of the book. Books you need to finish this year. I want to start Entangled Life. I'm not going to read that all at once. And then Map of the Otherlands. Again, I don't know how I haven't read this yet. 14. Favorite book community member. Okay, I couldn't pick just one, so I picked 3. We have Carrie, who has 2 channels, Carrie Cakes and Carrie Can Read. She has a lot of like fantasy book videos. Emmy, whose name is Emma, but her channel's name is Emmy. She has a lot of like classic books, and like she's an English major and around the world book tour. And then Carly from UnCarly, she's a comedian. She does book videos and also pop culture videos. Recommend. Thank you for watching. If you clicked on this video, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.